There once was a young woman who was a maid for her evil stepmother and stepsisters. After the death of her father, she was demoted to a housemaid and treated like scum. One day, she decided that she would take a chance and attend the Kingdom Ball. There, of course, she met her Prince Charming, and instantly they fell in love. Although she did have to run away and end up turning back into the maid, she did live happily ever after with Prince Charming, and her stepmother and stepsisters did not. Most of you know this familiar story is Cinderella. As a young girl, we dreamed of finding our own Prince Charming and dancing the night away in a giant castle filled with loud music and living happily ever after. Snow White and Sleeping Beauty taught me that with one magical kiss, I could be saved from all evil. Disney movies brainwashed us into thinking that our soulmate, our significant other would be our Prince Charming. There is no Prince Charming. One magical kiss will not save your life or rescue you from evil sources. There will never be the perfect guy. A marriage is tough to maintain, and sometimes it just does not work out. Life is full of obstacles, and without someone there to help you along the way, you may feel very alone. Think of your parents or family or friends that are married. Almost everyone has been in some sort of committed relationship and knows the strengths and weaknesses of another person. Knowing the depths of that other person will help you to understand them so much more. Today, I would like to talk to you about marriage and divorce. First, I would like to tell you about the importance of being married. Secondly, I would like to tell you about divorce and the effects that it has on other people. And thirdly, I would like to talk to you about how marriage affects you and your family and the other people in your life. I'll begin by telling you about the importance of marriage and staying married. According to dictionary.com, marriage can be defined as the legal or religious ceremony that formalizes the decision of two people to live as a married couple, including the accompanying social festivities. When two people publicly commit their love for each other in holy matrimony, they now share a sacred bond. What does marriage even mean? To me, marriage means that someone will always be there to support you. Someone will always be there to love you unconditionally, and someone will always be there for you whenever you need it. If you need love, if you need support, no matter what, that person will be there for you. Even though I'm not married yet, I do understand that there are certain duties that the wife and the husband need to fulfill for each other. The first problem in relationships relates to this. A husband and wife have different roles to fulfill. Whether they may be traditional or non-traditional roles, that's up to each couple. When I say roles and duties, I do not mean physical or chores such as housework. I mean that I believe that in a successful relationship, you need to understand the wants and the needs of each other. Lisa Kift, a marriage and family therapist in California, she writes that affection, relationship vision, and friendship are three very important qualities to have in a relationship. My parents have always referred to each other as their best friend. I feel like that has set a great example to me and my brothers that a healthy relationship, your significant other needs to be your best friend. This is my parents. Relationship vision is a very important quality. Without the agreement between the husband and the wife about the bigger picture, they will just continue to clash. They cannot be in sync, and it will not be successful. Lastly, Kift writes about affection. Partners who stay in physical contact in some sort of way throughout the day have appeared to be the happiest ones. These don't necessarily have to be sexual intimacy, but are rather easy ways to say, "I love you" without the words. Maybe to send flowers or candy, or just even leave little notes lying around the house. There are benefits to getting married and staying married. No matter if you marry young or old, if you feel deep in your heart that it is right, I say go for it. Even when times are tough, and they will be, trust me, you and your significant other will always be there to support each other. There are many benefits from being married. Men and women can both get a health boost from the bond of marriage. There have been studies that prove women in healthy marriages can look 3 to 5 years younger than a single woman. Many couples find their financial situations benefit as well. Double income can attribute to this. That means instead of just having the one income, whenever you get married, you now have double income. You also get a reduction in your taxes if you file married filing jointly versus a single. As I have told you about the positives of being married, there are also some negative attributes which ultimately can lead to a divorce. As we are getting older, less and less people are deciding to take the next step and exchange vows. With divorce rates rising, I think couples are getting scared of marriage not working out, and so they continue to date until they end up as a common law marriage, or that could possibly happen. Statistics now say that about 50% of marriages end in divorce. I find that to be a very high and alarming number, especially since I hold the bond of marriage alarmingly high. Even though my parents aren't divorced, I do know firsthand the effects of it. My very best friend in 7th grade, Emily, she went through a hard and tough one. Divorce can tear families apart, literally. Parents who can no longer satisfy each other's company choose to live separately. This causes their kids to have tremendous pressure on deciding who to live with. I mean, how can you ask a young child which parent they would rather live with? My very best friend Emily was put in this situation. It was so hard to watch her endure the pain. Her dad was going to move to California, and she had to decide whether to stay in Austin with her mom or to move to California with her dad. She loved both her mom and her dad very much. She ended up choosing to stay with her mom because she was rooted here and her grandparents lived there, and there was lots of more reasons for her to stay. She did get to see her dad every month, but it was not fun having to travel all the time. I can't even imagine going through that now, much less when I was in 7th grade. I think that's extremely tough. Divorce can also potentially cause even more financial struggles than before. Attorney's fees, legal fees, court fees, not to mention having to find new housing if you're not allowed to live in your house anymore. Also, if you're going to support a child, there could be child support payments, and now you'd be on a single income versus the double income when you were married. Divorce can also lead to depression and other forms of loneliness. People going through a hard divorce can last weeks up to years. There are all sorts of reasons to cause a divorce, but most people do not even try to fix their problems. Couples therapy is a great resource to have. Trial separation, you could try even dating all over again, and anything could help a troubled marriage. As my dad has always told me, what you put into it is what you get out of it. I feel like this quote especially applies to marriage. If you're going to put little effort into a marriage, then you're going to get little out of it. If you put a lot of effort into a marriage, then you're going to get a lot out of it. I feel like that is one of the main factors into marriages. If you put zero effort into it, don't be surprised if your significant other feels like you don't care, because that's what it's coming out to be. A happy marriage can lead to a happy lifestyle. This also reduces the risk of infidelity. Although there is nothing to prevent infidelity, putting effort into your marriage is definitely a first step. This shows your significant other that you do care and want to be with them solely. I'm no marriage expert, but I do believe in this. I keep referencing my parents, but they are a prime example to me of how a marriage should function. Their happiness with each other extends to me and my brothers, and we love that we live in a house full of happiness. In conclusion, relationships are in dire need to humanity. To interact with other humans is natural and wonderful. Falling in love can be one of the most rewarding experiences to get out of life. It's better to have loved and lost than rather never to have loved at all. I do strongly believe in this quote. I've been in a committed relationship for almost 2 years now. With Valentine's Day approaching, lately I have been reflecting on my relationship quite a bit. I've noticed how much time we spend together and how I can't imagine my life any other way. I do believe in marriage, and I believe in all that it holds. It's a sacred bond that holds two people together for all eternity. I believe in God's plan that there is someone out there for each and every one of us. Thank you.